I just pulled up to the dentist office and I gotta get my teeth cleaned today. And I'm not really happy about it because that is not the best way to start the day. I'm a real big baby when it comes to teeth. Teeth and fingernails, I can't, I don't do that, no. But I had a lot of insight and a lot of conversation with God this morning. I'm gonna go get my teeth cleaned and then I'll tell you all about it if I'm in the mood. But I'll tell you all about it either way. Okay, so after getting the teeth cleaned, got a bunch of work done, got a bunch of computer work done. Teeth cleaning sucked, but now it's time to cook dinner. But I want to try something that I haven't tried. I want to try to multitask tonight. So I want to talk about my experience with Jesus this morning whilst I cook dinner. So let's go. I got the GoPro, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Check it out. Look on the GoPro. See what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Anyway, so this is, and super excited. Check it out. This is what we're cooking. Do you have something you need to tell me? Hold on one second, because let me tell you what happens. The red button on the camera means somebody needs to tell me something and it can't wait. So
it's called being a dad.
My God, don't take it personally. It's just a joke. If you're curious of what this is and why Asher's shirt has a giant red stain. Hey, come here, boy. Come here. Hey, where are you going? Any other time, come here. Come here. So we have a, what?
Do you really want them?
Yeah, go get them. So we have a little step stool that is about, I don't know, like 1 foot off the ground. Shauna uses it to reach basically everything. It's Shauna's step stool. Anyway, I was hanging new curtains. My fault, by the way. I was hanging new curtains, got done hanging curtains, and I did not feel like putting everything up. So curtains are on the floor, step stool is on the floor. Hey, chill out, dude. Calm down. You want to be famous? And can you see, where is it at? Hold on. You see this right here? No. What's the matter? What's the matter? Okay, come on. Come here. Well, go watch your shows. So anyway, this giant bloodline is from when I picked him up and he was on my shoulder and he was crying and drooling and bleeding because all me and Shauna heard was a clang and Asher had climbed up on the step stool, fell off the step stool, bit his tongue, and his tongue was bleeding. Not really bad, and he was fine, so he calmed down in just a minute. But it's been a fun parenting day as well. But this is, check this out, this is what we're cooking. So this is the back strap of the deer that I shot on Saturday. And this is cut up into kind of what I am going to call, I'm going to cook it, that is not the right drawer. I'm going to cook it kind of like you would like fried pork chops. But I opened up the flour because I was going to put a little flour on it and do it, you know, like how you fry pork chops. What am I doing? But I opened up the flour and the flour was no good. So now we are going to do breadcrumbs instead of flour. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some seasoning. That's basically done. Okay. But I'm going to throw a little bit of seasoning on it. Then we're going to do breadcrumbs. And then we're still going to basically fry it like we would deep fry something. Or not deep fry, you know, like fried pork chops. But anyway. Have I said like fried pork chops enough? Do you understand we're doing it like fried pork chops? Okay. Oh my God, it's time to take the trash out. So here is, let me see if I can actually multitask. Shauna, can I multitask? Okay, she says no. I feel like I can do it. I feel like I can do it, but anyway.
You'll be on rabbit trail.
Oh yeah, well I'm on rabbit trail. Everybody who watches this knows that I'm on rabbit trails anyway. So this is my experience. Oh, hold on. We got to see. What seasoning are we going to use first? We got to decide that because that's super important. Shauna, what seasoning are we using? Meow. Okay, that's okay. Good deal. Huh? Oh my God. I'm not allowed to be in your videos, she said. How about the same seasoning we used the other day and then a tiny bit of something hot? All right. Okay, we'll do that. Cajun or Slap Your Mama or Tony's? Okay. Got it. Okay. If you want to be in my video, you can. You come stand right here. You can stand next to me. Yeah, okay, so first off, we're going to throw some seasoning on this. I have to run this like a cooking show whilst we talk about Jesus, but these are freaking amazing back straps. So I cut the back straps, I think, in half, and then after I cut them in half, I filleted them. So this is like one back strap. You can kind of see the shape, but anyway. And then I got a whole nother set just like this in the fridge. But this morning after the gym, I was sitting in my truck. I just got home, and I was trying to take advantage of, before Asher woke up, before Shauna woke up, just a little bit of quiet time, because it never fails. Once I actually get into the house, somebody's waking up. I'll wake somebody up. You know, I try to be quiet, but I'm not good at being quiet. But so I was taking advantage of the time in my truck, and I was just like, hey, God, I love you, you know, and just the thing we talked about in the other video, just doing my best just to receive love and to love on God. And I was sitting in my truck, and my brain and my heart started to wander to a place of, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe the conversation and how the conversation got started, because sometimes my conversations with God is a lot like my conversations with you guys. It's just circles and stuff like that, and God has to calm me down and get me back around to, you know, what I'm actually trying to discuss. But I said, you know, God, I love you, and I started thinking about receiving God's love, but I felt like, I don't know if it was just a religious kind of thing, but I felt like before I start thinking about receiving God's love, I think that's enough seasoning. What do you guys think? It smells really good. But before I receive your love, God, I feel like that I should just, you know, tell God, I'm doing my best to love you, the best that I can. Or you know, help me to love you the best that I can. Like, hey, God, I love you to the best of my abilities. Almost like giving God a heads up, like, hey, you know I don't love you perfect. And it's crazy why in my head I feel like I have to tell God that. Like, God already knows the extent of how much I love him, how much attention I give him, and all of that. It's bonkers sometimes, but you guys already know that. So anyway, this is what God started. This is what God started to where he was taking me in my heart. And he said, I want you to picture how much you love Asher and the way that you love Asher. And immediately I just started weeping, because lately Asher's been at this point to where he's right on the line of crossing over into toddler stage. And it's such an amazing time. He's getting his words down. He's able to communicate more, and he's showing even more emotions, and he's loving even more. And it's just, but he's on that toddler stage, so he's also getting super annoying sometimes. And it's so hard, because there you go instantly from moments of pure, you could not express how much you're enjoying the moment, and pure love to, I wish you would get off my leg right now. Like, it's so funny. It's so crazy being a dad. So anyway, God says that, and instantly I'm broken, I'm undone, because I know that I can understand that kind of love. I wonder if this is going to be any good. Breadcrumbs on backstrap. We'll see. But I'm like, I can't even. You have to have kids to be able to understand what I'm talking about. The just pure joy that you get sometimes from little things like just watching them play, watching them sleep. You know, the smallest thing that they could just want a hug from you, and it melts you. And I can't, like, God takes me there in a moment, like, hey, do you see that love that you have for your son? And immediately I understand where he's going. Okay, we got to take a quick break. So this is what we're doing along with the backstrap. We're going to do corn, because corn is an absolute favorite in our house. So we're going to do corn, and I think we're going to do cheap mashed potatoes as well. So a box of mashed potatoes. Shauna, I don't know what to do with this. Potatoes. So I'm trying to get prepped, because normally I do this on the grill, and I don't know how much time everything's going to take. Corn's going to take, this is going to take almost as long as the corn. This is going to be quick. So let's get this ready to go first. Hold on, guys. I got to get my wits about me. Is that bowl? Is my bowl clean? My favorite bowl. Yeah, heck yeah. This is my mashed potato bowl. Ooh, like KFC mashed potato bowl. Awesome. All right. So I get all my water prepped and ready to go before my mashed potatoes. And there's going to be so many people who are like, oh my God, you guys eat like, we do. Shauna goes, trash? Yes, we do. This is what we would consider, yeah, this is what we consider healthy. This is a good home-cooked meal from us. Mashed potatoes out of a bag, frozen corn, and, well, the deer is going to be healthy, besides the fact that I'm going to fry it. So, put that in there. But we won't start that yet. So, only water in the measuring cup, so that can go back, because that is technically clean, right? So, okay, corn. Let's get the corn ready. How many corns you want, Shauna?
2.
Asher needs a corn. Shauna wants 2. Do I want 2 or 3? I don't know. That was the loudest. 1, 2, 3. You want 2? You want 2, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cha-ching. Heck yeah, guys, we are rolling. What do I want to cook this in? I think I want to use, let's see, not this one, but this one. Aye. Ta-da. Ta-da. Okay. Dude, do we not have any grease? So, game plan change. Should we do the breadcrumbs then?
Should I go to the store?
No. No, it's 5:30. We don't have time to go to the store. I'm not doing that. Basically, yeah. Okay. If I do a really light breadcrumb, it may be okay. Okay, all right, well, it is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna use avocado oil and whatever's left of this olive oil, but we might, actually not even a might, we gotta switch pans up because this is way too big of a pan. Depending on how much oil we have is gonna be whether I'm gonna put the breadcrumbs on there or not, okay? What is this? Trash. Better Body Foods. Where'd you even get this from? And why do you have it? Oh my gosh. Well, it's definitely enough oil. It just smells like oil. It'll probably be fine. Okay, we'll use that. Well, there's only a tiny bit left, so. You might want to put olive oil on the list of things that we need from the grocery store. And you might want to put like regular canola oil on there as well. And I might want to take out the trash. This is ridiculous. Okay, guys, let's get back to the story. So, God shows me a picture of me and Ash and how much I love Asher. And I just hit a point to where I just had to be straight up with God. And I told God, there's no way. And you got to understand, my relationship with God, it's a all or nothing kind of relationship. I don't believe it, I'm either at a point to where I'm like not talking to God because I feel like I don't deserve to talk to God, or I'm at a point where when I do talk to God, I don't hold anything back. I'm brutally honest with God, and it really works with me because if there's anything that I've learned in my relationship with God, it's that He already knows, so why try to tap dance around the subject? Why try to tap dance around your feelings and things like that? So when He gives me that picture of Asher, I'm like, God, that's amazing, but there's no way that you love me that much. And guys, I understand I understand that God loves me way more and has the capacity to love me way more than I love Asher. Way more pure. You know, the Bible compares the kind of love that I have versus the kind of love that he has too. Mine looks like evil compared to his. And so I understand that, like in theory. I understand that biblically, like, you know, my theology tells me. Trying to do this with a GoPro hanging from your neck is not easy. So, like, I understand that concept. I understand all of that. However, understanding it in your head and getting it in your heart and really walking that out and having a revelation of that is two completely different things. And so I was just brutally honest with God, and I said, God, there's no way that you love me that much. There's no way, you know, like I'm pouring my heart out because I know he does, but I'm just saying, God, I don't understand that. I can't understand that. I can't fathom that kind of love. I can't even get how you could love me that much. I don't understand that, because when I see him, I see pure joy, and he's just pure joy to me. He's pure love for me. And there's no way you look at me like that. And that's when God told me, he said, you are going to have to start seeing yourself the way that I see you. You have to see yourself the way that I see you, because if not, you're not going to be able to understand righteousness. You're not going to be able to understand my love. You're not going to be able to understand, you know, any of that. And so I really, all right, let's start getting this oil worm. So I really started, I started breaking down again, like, God, you have to help me. You got to help me understand that. You got to help me to understand how you see me. Like, my relationship with God sometimes, and this gets me in a tailspin in my head every now and then too, thinking you should be further along than this. You should understand these are very simple principles. But I don't feel bad for going to God like a little kid sometimes, like, God, you got to help me with this really simple thing. Like, I'm just I'm just Alex, man. I'm not going to get it unless you spoon feed it to me. And this is the really cool part, and this is kind of the climax of the entire conversation that I had with God, and this is the point that I wanted to get to and I wanted to share with you guys. It was all amazing. Like, there's so many takeaways that you can get thus far, but this is what was really, really cool. I said, God, I know the word enough to know and to understand that you see me as clean, that you've washed me white as snow, that I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, that Christ is perfection and Christ is perfected, and that Christ is in me and that I'm in Christ. So I understand all of those as far as theology goes, as far as in theory, I get all that. However, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can look at me and I mess up sometimes. I understand that it's not my identity. Like, there are things I understand that I am not a mess up, that I have a new identity. I get that, but I still don't understand. Spell it out for me. Like, walk me through it, hold my hand. How do you look at me, I make a bad decision, and you still see pure joy like I see when I see my son and his pure innocence? You know, how does that happen? How does that even work? Like, God help. And I just started to weep again. Like, God, I want to get it. I want to understand it better. And if it's a faith thing, like, spell it out for me. Do you need something? You just stood there, like, at random, staring at me.
I was looking at the food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, food looks good, don't it? That's what I'm talking about. So if it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, it's a faith thing, you just got to believe it, you know, which it is, you know, our entire relationship with him all boils down to a faith. At the end of the day, you know, there's emotions and there's feelings and things like that. But at the end of the day, God's not in the sky writing letters to us saying, hey, I'm real. You can believe me. You can trust me. It's a faith walk. But God gave me this picture, and I'm hoping and praying that this will help somebody out there to understand righteousness, to understand our identity a little bit better. Hopefully somebody can understand this and somebody can get this, and this will help somebody. I started thinking about a robe, and God started showing me a picture of a white robe that we put on, and we can probably all can say that we've heard that, that we put on Christ, that Christ washed us white as snow, and we put on His identity. We put on His righteousness, His authority, and those things. We put on Christ like we would put on a robe. And I started thinking about a brilliant white robe. And then I started thinking about, when I mess up, there's stains on it and there's marks on it. And I'm like, see, God, I put on Christ, but there's marks on it. And I get it. I get it that if you put on Christ and you're wearing Christ's robes, you can't stain it up. Like, guys, these are some things that I think about. And maybe this is when it just all boils down to, dude, you're an overthinker. You're making it way too hard. Just believe that God loves you. Well, sometimes some people are different. Some people got to walk through it different. Some people just got to say, God, spoon feed me. And if I'm wrong for that, He'll show me. Holy Spirit will reveal to me, hey, you need to grow up. However, it's been working for me thus far, and I'm doing okay. But I started picturing this white robe with stains on it. And the Lord started revealing to me that that's not the way that when you put on Christ, that's not the way that Christ's robe is. And it's a silly picture, but have you ever watched somebody who was playing baseball or who was playing softball and they slid into base, and you'll see their uniform would be super, super like clean, all is white, and then they make that first play and they slide and there's red clay everywhere. And I had this image of somebody who was wearing a white robe and did that, and they slid all through the clay and they stood up and they were still white as snow. Even though that they were in the dirt, even though that they had been around the dirt, that they had participated with the dirt, so to speak, when they stood up, they were still, the robe was still perfectly white. And it was God's simple way of revealing to me and showing to me that when you put on the righteousness that Jesus has provided for us, it's something that stains don't penetrate. It's something to where stains can't reflect that. So when God is looking, and this was something I said to Him, I said, God, help me to understand how you're sitting on your throne and you look to your right and you see Jesus, and then you look at me and you love us both the same, and you see us both the same. You see Jesus as righteous, you see me as righteous because I'm in Him. I just don't get that. And He started showing me how I put on Christ, and how even though sometimes I might make mistakes, those mistakes don't stain the image of Christ that I am, the image of Christ that I put on. And that is my true identity and my true nature. And He just started showing me that is, I see Him in you. And it's still not something that I can honestly say that, I just get it and I have it locked in here. But it's an awesome mental picture, and I think I understand it a lot better now, that even though there are some times that we make mistakes and we fall short, and we know we did. We know this is not the best of what God has for me. This is sin. This was not okay. This was definitely me missing the mark. It's not a stain that we wear. Okay, my oil started getting real hot, so we got to press pause on that conversation for a second. Oh man, this is going to be good. I feel it. And go ahead and start on the corn. Let's get that out of the way. Ow! Oh, dude, I'm excited. Do a little flip on that. Yeah, this oil's starting to cool down a little bit. That's good. Hopefully that didn't get too rambly. Hopefully you guys could understand where I was coming from with that, because the biggest takeaway is you can't ever go boldly to the throne. You can't ever receive God's love if when you go into His presence, the only thing you're thinking about is how inadequate you are and how, oh man, I've messed up. And I didn't really mention this because I'm still processing all of it, and that's probably dangerous, me being a rambler to begin with. But I was thinking about the Old Testament sacrifices and how when the priest would go into the Holy of Holies in there with God to sprinkle blood on the mercy seat, and they'd be in the very presence of God. I started thinking about how the Bible talks about how they would have to be absolutely perfect, no stain, no sin on them, and the sacrifices that they made had to be absolutely perfect. And the perfection that's required to go into the Holy of Holies and to be in the presence of God. And I started thinking about how it says that now, because of Christ, now we can go boldly, walk boldly into the throne room and into the presence of God. And you get an understanding just thinking about that alone of how clean He must see you. And it's just, I don't know, it's so difficult. For me, it's so hard to even fathom like a blood that just washes you clean day after day after day after day. It's just crazy, man. But so anyway, that was my conversations with God today. And enough of that rambly stuff. What do you think, Shauna? Was it too rambly?
No, it's fine.
Okay. What?
Can you help me out for a second?
Yeah, what do you need?
Can you cut that lemon in half for me?
Oh yeah, I can do that. So this is, I'm going to show you how to properly cut a lemon in half. First, you grab it by the blade, put your... Sorry. Do you love me?
You're ridiculous.
I know I am. Ow. Well, at least if you cut yourself, you'll instantly get lemon juice in it. So,
Burn.
yeah, that'd be good.
Will you do this part for me?
Oh my God. What are you doing? I'm burning dinner.
I'm holding your bin.
Okay, well, hold on. I can't, Shauna.
I got it.
Okay, you got it?
I'll figure it out.
When you get a second, I need you to cut one of these and make sure that it's like done. Okay. This really is going to be like fried pork chops. Pretty excited about it. Okay, we are going to wait for the water to boil, get the corn going, and we'll check back in here in a minute. Here, I'll cut it. You want me to cut it?
Yeah.
We have no forks. Oh, you got a fork? You never give me a fork.
I thought this was gonna be your fork. Here.
You want me to cut it?
Yes.
Okay. So, first bite reactions. It doesn't seem too tough. You ready? You want to do same timesies? Same timesies. You ready? One. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. A little chewy.
But it tastes good.
And kind of tastes like fried pork chops.
It's just chewy, but got good
Pretty
flavor.
chewy. Mmm. This is the best tasting jerky I've had in a long time.
It's not jerky.
Mmm. Way worse. Oh my gosh. I'm about to turn this camera off. I can't even chew this. Taste great. Seasoning, flavor, everything good, but
It's just chewy.
I'll be here for an hour and a half. Okay. I'm gonna finish chewing this. I'll be back in an hour. What have you got, dude? Hey. Huh?